That. Man, camo is being stupid today. Okay, this device is currently inactive. Do this. Do this. Oh, it just booted me out. Oh, maybe not. Okay. No device. Okay, come on, try one more time. Wow, it's just like immediately booting me. This is a strange problem. Okay, cancel, select the device. There we go. It's working again, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully this is gonna work okay. Are you guys still here? Is everyone good? Evening, Red. I'm having some technical difficulties with Camo Studio, and it's kind of making the video connectivity go a little wonky. Oh, I've lost all my viewers, and I'm not streaming anymore. What's going on here? Interesting. Huh. Oh, now I'm back up to 4 viewers. I guess everything's working okay? Yeah, it looks like everything's working okay, I suppose. I'm confused. Okay, so double checking. There's my hand. Okay, so there's just there's a delay happening, which is what I want. Okay, yeah, I was having a little bit of problems with connectivity, and Camo Studio kind of crapped out on me. So, that was just me double checking to make sure everything's going okay. So I'm going to go back to painting this Ogren, and hopefully it will continue to work, at least for a little while. Because it said for a second that I had 0 viewers and that the screen was dead, and I don't know, very strange. I'm not super technically savvy with the streaming stuff, so I have no clue what just happened. So how are you doing? I was just talking with Semajolis a second ago about potentially getting together this week and playing some Warhams, because there is a casual 1,000-point tournament happening at a local game store who's trying to get interested in, or trying to dip their toes into Warhammer. And, they're trying to drum up interest with that area. And so I figured neither of us have really played competitively before, and so 1,000-point lists seems like a great place to start. I know, technically 1,000-point games are not where it's optimized, and they can be kind of swingy, but I'd just like to roll some dice against and move some plastic against people that I haven't played yet before, and say that I've at least competed in 1 tournament, because I have not competed in any. Oh man, he's got a gross jaw issue going on here. That's super neat. I don't know if you can see, but like his mouth is distended because he's got these tusks coming out of his jawline, and that's super cool. So yeah, that's kind of the plan for us, is to figure out when would be a good time to meet, where we can play, that kind of stuff, and figure out the official sanctioned tournament rules, because we've never played with those. We've used secondaries like twice, so this is all a brand new world to us. But yeah, how are you doing? How are things going? It's been a while since I've seen some of you guys, because a combination of health issues have left me fairly unable to stream, and I'm just now getting back into it. Okay, that is an incredibly rich color for this Ogren's skin tone, and I'm really happy with how that's looking. I think I got this as a color match for Cadian flesh tone, and while it's not quite there, it's definitely close enough that I'm not really missing the Cadian flesh tone. I think Cadian flesh tone has a little bit more of a khaki color to it, and it better goes with kind of like a fair skin tone, whereas this very much makes them look kind of pinky and flushy. So take that for what it is, but I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Now, if I recall properly, I had a little bit, had a little bit of this Ogren's lower torso to do. Am I still streaming? Yeah, it looks like I'm still streaming. Okay, fair enough, whatever, I don't get it. I don't understand what's going on with the stream. I'm lost. But that's okay. If I start having technical difficulties again, I'll just fix them. Hopefully the music ain't too loud. And hopefully you can hear me perfectly fine. I'm having problems with a certain individual. He's been messaging people following, and I'm following and following me on Discord trying to get them to unfollow me. Oh, that sounds incredibly petty. I'm sorry that that's happening to you. That sounds absolutely miserable. Hopefully you're able to get that situation resolved. Mayhaps, I don't know, does Discord have, like, a moderation team that can help you figure out, you know, who this person is and the concerted harassment campaign they have against you? Because that's pretty crummy. It's one of the problems with online communities is it allows for abuses like that. Okay. But yeah, hopefully, you're able to get that situation resolved. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and go back over this to try and get a good solid coat, because there's definitely some poke through of the original purple base coat on the high spots that I do not want. And mayhaps a little bit right in here. Get his head one more time. Just make sure he's got good coverage all around. Like, I can tell you right now, he definitely doesn't have good coverage under the chin and whatnot, but who the heck is going to see that in the model, right? Okay. Oh yeah, and the hand. Almost forgot this Ogren's hand with the big meaty cleaver. And apparently his armpit. But yeah, I understand internet drama, but at the same time, I don't understand internet drama. It's like, I'm sorry that you don't have something more important in your life to do than harass people online. But, and I don't mean to trivialize online communities in that way, but at the same time, you know, what happens online for the most part is just kind of not that important. And so, if you're making it your identity to go around and make other people's lives worse, then you kind of need to get a grip. Donate time at a soup kitchen. Volunteer there. Get a hobby like painting minis. Play more video games. I don't know, but just the idea that someone's I know who it is. He was a mate until I got rid of him. He's one of those people that likes starting drama and wants it all to kick off around him. That's incredibly frustrating. In a lot of ways, even though I don't condone at all or excuse that behavior, I can definitely sympathize, or at least feel bad for people like that, because something happened in their life that made it so that their basic trauma response and their normal is being under constant stress. And that's their normal, and that's what they want to be surrounded by. And not to get too armchair psychologist, but that's definitely not healthy, and it should never be encouraged. But I wonder what the heck happened in that person's life that caused them to act like that. Because that's just not healthy. Okay. He is now officially, can I block that off a bit? He is now officially some kind of flesh tone. So yeah, once again, I'm really sorry you're having to deal with that. I hate dealing with drama. And I feel bad for people who have to. Okay, I think I gave the other Chaos guy khaki pants. And I think what I'm going to do is kind of the same thing with this guy. I'm going to go ahead and give him a pair of, like, khaki pants. And I think what I actually might do is see if I can go a little darker into, like, a dark or a browner khaki. I don't know. I'll find out in a second. But, we're gonna see what we can do with this Ogren to make him a little bit more interesting than just a large, chunky Chaos soldier. I don't know. Internet drama has never been my thing. And I hate that people get affected by it because someone just has way too much free time in their lives and way too little self-control. That was something that I always kind of felt was, you know, left behind at the high school level. So it just feels weird hearing about it coming back up. You know what? No, I'm not going to blend these together. I'm going to go ahead and do his entire pants in this dark brown. And I'll go back over it. Well, this brown, I guess. And then I'll go back over it with the khaki, and we'll see how that looks. Might want to do the belt. And I think the boots are going to be black, and the belt is going to be black to give a slightly better contrast there. And of course, he's got a chain skirt on his butt, because that's what Chaos does. They make you wear chain skirts on your butt. Now, I actually don't know much about this model, and I don't know much about the box he came from, because I haven't really been much into collecting Chaos. I've recently become interested in starting a Chaos Marine army, but like Trader Guardsman was never really my thing. So I'm not really sure where to go with the lore of this character. Oh, these are actual... Are those boots? Those are boots. Okay. So I can go... It'll be fine if I leave them like that. All I know is that he's very clearly been corrupted by Chaos, and that's going to pose a problem to anyone who gets in front of him. Now, in-game, did the Trader Guard have a stat block for a Trader Ogryn? A Chaos Ogryn? Because I feel like they should. And I know in, like, Darktide, they do have both Corrupted Guard Ogryns who are clearly slightly bigger, and they have, you know, the black outfit and the slab shield, or they have, I don't remember what it's called. It's not a Ripper gun, I don't think. The big heavy machine gun. But beyond that, I'm not sure what else separates the Chaos Ogryn from a standard Ogryn. This one clearly has Crab Claw, which is, you know, a representation of his chaosification. But I'm curious what his stat block looks like, because Ogryn are already pretty big and beefy for their own thing in the army list. Had problems with them on Facebook, making fake accounts, messaging my other mates and my sister. Got the police involved, told them I just wanted to go around and tell them to knock it off. Now we started again. Yeah, that sounds like the right thing, because that's targeted harassment, and at least in the United States, that's a pretty good sign of, like, no, you need to have legal action brought against you. So hopefully that will be enough to get him to fuck off. Pardon my language. But that's definitely a case where someone kind of deserves to have the harsh language on him. Because that's completely unnecessary. That's not how you're supposed to interact with people. So hopefully, especially since you'll have all these witnesses, this will be a very open and shut case. Okay, so there's that. And I think actually, I'm gonna go ahead and hit this with dark brown, or with the brown, just to act as like the shadows for the shoulder. Yeah, I'm really thankful I never had to deal with a problem like that. And that, most of my friendships have remained amicable. And at the very most, they've, kind of just quietly ended. And there's never been any, like, huge separation because one person just couldn't stop being insufferable or awful. So, I'm really sorry that you're having to go through that right now, and hopefully that will not continue. Okay, let's go ahead, get all that colored in. I'm using a beat to shit Games Workshop brush that has a slight curl at the end, which I like to use for getting around edges and for block painting like what I'm doing now. It does a really good job of hitting a decent amount of paint very quickly. Fix this in here? Will this... Oh, okay, no, okay. So he actually has little globule. Ooh, ew, ew, ew. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and hit that like so. And I'm gonna have to use a smaller brush for this because this one's not too chunky. Go in with the Winsor & Newton, which hopefully... moist. I wetten it. Good to go. Mix a little bit of the brown with a little bit of the flesh color. Tell you the truth, some social media should never have been invented. Yeah, it really kind of messes with me how much of a positive thing it's been, and also how much of a negative thing it's been, because social media clearly has done some pretty terrible things to behavior. It's definitely caused an increase in anxiety and depression, or at least helped contribute to it. It's one of those things that has made it way too easy to confidently and arrogantly do and say things that you otherwise wouldn't be caught dead doing. And that's clearly a problem. Honestly, though, I think more of the issue revolves around how social media is poorly regulated in favor of turning profit. Because if we had the right controls for it, then social media could definitely be used as a vehicle of good. But unfortunately, it's become the favored place for bullies and keyboard warriors. And that's kind of the worst part about it. You know, that's where all those targeted harassment campaigns come from, because people feel brave enough to send death threats and whatnot. We're actually, like, the Warhammer community is actually kind of having that problem on Twitter right now, because the Warhammer community has been too foolish to leave Twitter, myself included. You know, because people come in all shapes and sizes and orientations and the like, and there are definitely some LGBTQ plus individuals who are into Warhammer, and they like to paint, and they like to post pictures of their paint. And one of them is very outspoken about their support, and they've been painting these absolutely beautiful Space Marines in the Pride flag colors, and that's kind of where that should end, right? Even if you don't like it or support it, that's kind of it. They paint thing, and you're just like, okay, well, I don't want to see thing, so I'm not going to see thing. Instead, that person's been getting, like, death threats and constant and repeated harassment from bad faith actors who are claiming that they're trying to change the hobby and all this other garbage. And it's, I don't know, it's really frustrating to read and see, because it really goes against the idea of live and let live. And it creates even more problems, because half the people that are harassing them aren't even fans of the game. They're just there because they were told on 4chan or some other abominable intelligence that this person was doing a thing that other people didn't like, or they're spreading their agenda or some other weird thing like that, and so they've taken it upon themselves to brigade them and be awful to them. And I friggin' hate it. I hate the fact that these people can't just exist. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to have some of that. I don't want that to be completely pale. I want that to look kind of scabby and gross. So what's probably going to have to happen with this one is I'm going to need to add some red in here to make it so that these little, like, bone flakes are a very strange discoloration compared to the rest of their fleshy flesh. I go off the painting skill and social behavior. Yeah, and that's absolutely fair, because it's a whole lot easier to kind of gauge someone by that, as opposed to try and argue that, you know, they're this, that, or the other because of what they believe in. But the problem has started to become that even people who are good faith actors and might just be a little bit uninformed are getting caught up in it, because they may not like some of the things that this person is posting, and they may not care about it. But when they're trying to be innocuous about it, they get attacked as well. And it's because the people who are initially being brigaded are just tired of the abuse, and so they've become very snippy with everyone. Which, I mean, when you spend most of your online time dealing with bigots and racists, it's kind of hard to not be defensive and snappy, I guess. Beyond that point, though, because that's not something I want to fixate too much on, I haven't painted a bigger model like this in a while, and I gotta say, I'm having a pretty good time. I feel like even the small details on this guy are just at a slightly larger scale, and that makes it a lot easier to paint. So, hopefully, all of this is going to end up looking good, but right now I'm just trying to get these to look kind of like scabs, I guess, because he's got these weird flakes on his flesh, and I think that that's really heckin' neato. Now, I'm not sure... Oh, that's still flesh. I need to give him some more flesh to those cheeks. Ugh, that's way too much paint. There we go. Yeah, so this actually, horrifyingly enough, goes down into there. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and load the brush up with the paint. Hopefully it's not too wet. And then we're going to take this and hit in there. And there we go. Now this horrifying demon ogre dude has plenty of paint on him. Okay, the next thing I think I need to do is I need to go ahead and paint a flesh wash over him. Speaking of models, I have your eyes on two, Tetsuo and Kaneda. Very cool. I didn't realize they made models for Akira. I know they've got some STLs for them, and I think they're super neat. Closest I've gotten to that was painting up some of the painting up one of the orc models to look like the Akira bike, which I don't think I did on stream. No, honestly, I don't recall. So what I'm going to do is, instead of giving him a flesh wash, I'm going to give him a purple wash, and hope that this does a good job of properly conveying that he is corruptified and stuff, and not just a regular ogre with some weird facial features. Hey, Prime Dragoon. Actually, this is a purple wash. This isn't a black wash. This isn't Nuln Oil. I wanted to give him more of a purple one because I wanted to show that he's all corrupt and gross, and then I can go back and do highlights. So hopefully it makes the flesh look properly kind of diseased and distended. I might go back over it with a red wash to further emphasize that things are not okay and that he's got a combination of like blood and other horrifying stuff. On Etsy, trying to decide which size to get. Yeah, that's always fun. I actually went on Etsy earlier today because I saw that an artist had a sticker that referenced something that a friend thinks is really funny, and I was debating getting it for him for Christmas just as kind of a little funny joke, in-joke. But unfortunately, I'm out of money for at least a couple days, so I cannot do anything with that. Now, it was an observation, more of an opinion. To me, putrid corruption is green, chaotic necrotic is black. It's a personal taste. Ah, I see what you're talking about, though. I get it. Yeah, so that's a really good idea. And speaking of, I need to get me a green wash. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this guy with this purple wash, and then once it dries, I'll go back over it with Nuln Oil. And we'll see how the Nuln Oil looks on him. Because I really enjoy painting flesh. I think it's neat. Got a lot of contours, and got a lot of spaces to allow for some heavy shading, and also some really fun volumetric lighting. So we're going to go ahead and hit him with this, and then I think I'm going to hit his pants with some Agrax Earthshade, I apologize, and then I can go back up and see how it all dried. But yeah, for some reason to me, when I think of the purple as kind of like festering, I guess. And that might be a wrong association on my part, but either way, he's gonna look really good. Might have to hit him with a couple washes. I was also thinking of hitting him with Reichland Flesh Shade because I figured that having some red back in here would give him a very mottled look, which is kind of what I'd be going for. Though I think you're right. I think a black wash would look really good on this guy. And really, I may have caved yesterday due to certain reasons about a Space Wolves veteran dreadnought. That's pretty cool, though. Congratulations. One of my friends really wanted a Bjorn the Fell-Handed, but couldn't afford it. And so I got to use Atlan Forge's, I don't remember, like, not Space Wolves, I forget what they're called. But they have a really cool looking, kind of true scaly dreadnought. I think it's meant to be Redemptor sized. And I was able to shrink it down to make it not quite proper true scale dreadnought sized, and I printed that out for him. And it's got a lot of really fun details on it, so he was able to do some cool stuff with it paint wise. Though I think, yep, the bears, yes, with Chaos Anywash is good. That's what they were. They were space bears. They were close enough, I think, was our decision. So he was able to